The monks of the Phukthar Monastery have lived in isolation for its entire 2500-year existence. Located deep inside the Sarapchu River Valley, the monastery is only accessible by foot along a narrow trail cut across steep mountainsides high above the river. New roads are being built in Zanskar in the last few years that have slowly reduced the walking time to the monastery from days to hours to just mere minutes now. But having lived in such isolation for a long time has meant that the monks have to be resourceful and be able to solve their problems on their own instead of waiting for outside help. This winter, in 2025, the Lungnak Valley of Zanskar received very heavy snowfall. The snowfall and the pursuing snowmelt triggered landslides that damaged the trail to the monastery, making it very difficult and very dangerous for ordinary people to safely reach the monastery. So the monks of the Phukthar Monastery and the villagers of the neighboring Yugar village opposite the monastery got together to repair the trail before the start of the summer tourist season. The monks were very skilled in their work, having repaired the trail numerous times in the past. The monks dug out rocks from the slopes above the damaged trail to make a foundation for the new trail. Within a couple of hours, the damaged section of the trail was completely repaired, and the monks and the villagers took a break to drink some tea and have some tukpa that was prepared on the spot. Standing right on the edge of the trail, high above the Sarapchu River, the monks demonstrated incredible balance and nimbleness as they set about clearing the scree that had collected on the trail from above. नीचे देखा तो डर लगता मुझे. Another couple of hours of hard work and the trail was as good as new, ready to welcome guests to the monastery. Another post-winter activity of the monks is to repair the pipeline that brings water to the monastery from a nearby stream. The pipeline is disconnected before the start of the winter to prevent water from freezing inside the pipes and cracking them. So, at the start of the summer, when the temperatures are warm enough for the water to flow without freezing, the monks set about repairing the pipeline to bring water to the monastery. The first job of the monks is to realign the pipes that were knocked out of place by falling rocks during the winter months. Any cracks in the pipes are then sealed using makeshift wooden plugs that the monks carve on the spot. Finally, the monks go to the source of the pipeline near the stream and collect the dirt and debris that is collected in the channels that bring water from the stream towards the pipe. Once the channels are cleared, the monks divert water from the stream into the channel, where it is then collected in a small tank before it flows into the pipes. The water that flows initially will have a lot of dirt in it, so the monks let the water flow freely through the tank for a while until the dirt reduces, and then they let the water flow into the pipes. Any leaks in the pipes are plugged using improvised materials that the monks happen to have on the spot. Midway to the monastery, there is a hole in the pipe where the monks let the water flow out until it is clear and doesn't carry any dirt anymore. Finally, once the monks are convinced that the water is clear, they plug the hole and let the clear water flow to the monastery. These two instances show how the monks can solve almost all of their problems on their own, but there is one problem this year that they cannot solve themselves and they need your help to solve it.
जिले जी हाँ अभी रिपेयर कर रहे हैं कंपा को.
हाँ रिपेयर भी कर रहे हैं और नया भी बन रहा है.
ओ नया भी बन रहा है. ठीक है.
Although the heavy snowfall brought a lot of joy to the people across Zanskar this winter, it also brought sorrow to the monastery as a big chunk of the cave above the monastery came loose and fell through the main prayer hall of the monastery.
ये जो यही सर्दी में जो जनवरी में जो वहाँ से सुबह 4 बजे में यहाँ में वो पत्थर गिर गया. उसी
कैसा गिरा?
जो मौसम चेंज हो रहा है ना, वही ठंडा और गर्म आ गया. वही टाइम में जो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा गर्म ठंडा आ गया, उसी से वो गिर गया.
वो ऐसे क्रैक हो गया.
हाँ हाँ जी. उसका बाद में ये सारा जो है डैमेज हो गया. हाँ जी.
Luckily, no one was hurt as the rockfall happened late in the night when the monks were sleeping in their quarters.
आप गुम्पा में था वो पत्थर गिरते समय?
है था।
फिर वो कैसा था? बहुत आवाज है, कैसा था रात को?
आवाज तो नहीं है,
आवाज नहीं आया।
आवाज नहीं सुना रात को।
हाँ हाँ हाँ। लेकिन भूकंप जैसा था ऐसे होगा ना, सभी हिला होगा, जमीन पूरा ऐसे हिला होगा, नहीं हिला? हाँ
नहीं हिला होगा।
हाँ हाँ, पता नहीं।
रात को साफ नींद में
ओ,
मैंने धूल जैसा देखा।
धूल जैसा देखा? ओ,
मैं जब पेशाब किया ना
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
रात को, वो आसमान में धूल छाया था।
ओ, ठीक है।
जो वो नीचे है ना, वो जो है हमारा जो स्टोर रखता है सारा लामा के लिए, वही है उसमें चावल दाल जो हमारा सत्तू और सारा उसमें जमा करके रखता है।
एक साल के लिए कितने साल के लिए?
जो वो सर्दी के लिए, सर्दी के लिए 3 महीना के लिए सारा यहाँ में इकट्ठा करके रखता है। जो तेल वल सारा यहाँ में रखता है, वो सारा डैमेज हो गया, थोड़ा गवर्नमेंट से तरफ से थोड़ा सा मिला सर। हाँ जी।
और अभी आपका प्लान क्या है यहाँ का? अभी क्या, कैसा रिकंस्ट्रक्शन कैसा करेगा
अभी हमारा जो अभी 1 महीना में बाद में हमारा जो यहाँ का जो हमारा खिम्पो बोलता है, वो जो है हमारा जो अबॉर्ड जो है यही महीना एक महीना बाद में जो यही चेंज हो जा रहा है, वही के लिए गोम्पा जो है यही मेन प्रेयर हॉल जो है ये भी जल्दी बना रहा है।
So the monks collected some funds on their own and hired some skilled laborers and set to work themselves rebuilding the prayer hall in the traditional way. There was a big gaping hole in the floor where the rocks went through, so the monks had to strip out the entire damaged section of the floor before relaying it again. Long beams of poplar wood were placed at regular intervals along the floor. These would be the main support structures that hold the weight of the people and the objects placed on the floor above. The gaps between the poplar beams are filled with willow sticks. These sticks are called the tallu and they provide a flat, stable base for the floor.
लंबा हो गया?
हाँ, तो बता रहे होते, थोड़ा सा लंबा हो गया।
हाँ।
The tallu will be topped off by a thick layer of clay and mud, and in order to prevent the mud from seeping through the gaps in the tallu, the workers put gunny sacks and cardboard as a rudimentary barrier between the mud and the tallu sticks. While the tallus were being placed, the monks prepare a thick slurry of mud and clay that will be spread on top of the tallu to make the floor of the prayer hall.
हाँ हाँ, ये तलबा कहाँ से आया?
ऊपर से गिरा ना।
ऊपर से? ये पूरा
सब उसे छत।
हाँ हाँ,
छत और उसका वो दोनों है।
वही है, मैं सोचा इसको।
ये लकड़ी उसका है।
ओ,
ये ऊपर का ये दबाया है।
ठीक है।
वो नहीं खोदाया।
हाँ हाँ,
नहीं खोदाया ना।
ठीक है। Okay. ये भी ऊपर वाला से गिरा, ऊपर से गिरा ये। आपका क्या पूरा एक बड़ा सा पत्थर गिरा है, थोड़ा छोटा छोटा गिरा होगा? बड़ा सा गिरा, यहाँ टूट गया। ठीक है। हाँ।
उस वक्त वो लोकल आदमी बहुत आया ना,
हाँ हाँ।
उसी ने तोड़ा पत्थर से बुझे फेंके।
ओ ठीक है, हाँ मैंने उसका वीडियो देखा।
फिर उस वक्त सर्दी है, हम करने को कहा।
हाँ अभी ठीक है।
The monks and the laborers work hard to lay the mud flooring. The mud needs to dry for a day or two in order to harden completely. So the workers move on to the other main task of reassembling the front facade of the prayer hall.
ओ
One distinguishing feature of the Ladakhi architecture is the use of ornamental blocks of carved wood over the lintel above the windows and the doors. These are called the sinshak and can be found in all the Buddhist homes and monasteries across Ladakh. Luckily, the sinshaks of the prayer hall at the Phukthar Monastery were not damaged by the rockfall. The monks had kept them aside until the prayer hall could be repaired, and now they were ready to put the sinshaks back in their place before building the roof of the prayer hall. The sinshaks were very heavy, and the monks had to be very careful while lifting the sinshaks into place. And they had to make sure that the sinshaks were exactly in the right position and aligned correctly before fixing them into place above the lintels. With the sinshaks in place, the next job for the monks was to complete the roofing, and then the prayer hall would be ready just in time for an important ceremony at the monastery. Now that the prayer hall is rebuilt, the monks have a more ambitious plan to rebuild the main structure of the monastery, as it has developed some structural weaknesses after the rockfall.
ये बिल्डिंग सारा वो पहला ऊपर जो पत्थर गिर गया ना, वहीं से यहाँ तक शॉक लग गया। जो हमारा अभी हमारा जो प्लान है, वहाँ से यहाँ तक अच्छा से एक बिल्डिंग लगाना शुरू करने सोचता है। हाँ, सारा लामा के लिए रुकने के लिए, हमारा जो अपोर्ट रुकने के लिए अच्छा सा घर नहीं है, वही के लिए सारा बाथरूम और सारा लगाने वाला करने का सोचते हैं सर।
They are looking to raise funds for the rebuilding effort, so please contribute to the monastery if you can. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.
ज़्यादा तो खुद करना पड़ेगा, गवर्नमेंट से थोड़ा सा आ जाएगा, वही हम गवर्नमेंट का थोड़ा रिपोर्ट दिया है। हाँ जी,
मेरा भी बोलेगा ना।
हाँ जी, आप लोग का आपका जो सब्सक्राइबर लोग को सारा आपने बताएगा तो यहाँ में थोड़ा सा डोनेशन आ जाएगा तो अच्छा हो जाएगा।
फिर आपको कोई यूपीआई जीपे है तो मैं बोला ना, फिर मैं उसको शेयर।
वहाँ हमारा यहाँ में 3 गुरुजी यहाँ में काम करने का वो कर लिया, उसी का जो बैंक का अकाउंट होगा फिर और गूगल पे है उसका कर लेगा तो चलता है सर। हाँ जी, थैंक यू।
आ रहा है ना ठीक से? हाँ।
다 해줘, 뭐, 얘.